यार मैं खो गया हूँ। ये गली गुलियाँ किस तरफ है?
Hello and welcome to Do I Like It, a Quint production where we review anything and everything under the sun. My name is Prateek, and in this episode, I'll tell you do I like Gali Guleiyan. In life, things happen. And even if nothing's happening, that's still something happening, right? So on this show, we talk about things that happen. We get an esteemed panel of highly jobless people to answer the million-dollar question. Do I like it? Okay, so before we even start the review, I want to tell you a kahani about this film. So आज से 4 साल पहले I was in Bangalore. I had gone there for a college festival. And after our competitions etc were over, we had nothing to do. And मैंने सोचा मैं क्या करूँ, मैं थिएटर में निकल गया वहाँ पे पिक्चर देखने. And I came across this film that was playing there called Gali Guleiyan. And dude, I have been wanting to watch this movie again. उसके बाद से मैं वेट कर रहा था कब OTT पे आएगी. But now it is finally streaming on Amazon Prime and I got to watch the film again. And dude, I have some thoughts. Let's talk about Gali Guleiyan. So Gali Guleiyan is a 2017 Indian film. It's directed by this guy called Dipesh Jain, and dude, the guy is amazing. It was his directorial debut and the guy killed it from the first frame. The film stars Manoj Bajpayee as Khuddoos, a person who lives in a very, shambled sa, toota hua sa ghar, and he has this weird habit of putting CCTV cameras around his neighborhood और वो झांकता रहता है इन सबके घर में. And obviously, through the film, you'll know why he does that. And that's the kind of a person he is. He doesn't do anything. He probably runs a electronics repair ka shop because there's a lot of, wires and all of that electronics ka stuff lying around in his house. But he's leading a very dark and failed life. He doesn't know what date it is. Usko apne around kuch nahi pata. He's a very dirty, shabby man. He probably hasn't taken a bath for a long time. And so that's the kind of life he's living. अब एक दिन क्या होता है, उसको अपने घर की दीवार के दूसरी साइड से एक बच्चे की रोने की आवाज सुनाई देती है who is getting beaten up by their family. And that kid is played by Om Singh. His name is Idris, and the guy is a non-actor, by the way. He has a very weird story अपनी खुद की. He has faced some violence and abuse in his life. So and that's how he sort of approach this character. So this kid is getting beaten up and Khuddoos wants to save him. And the rest of the story just, jumps back and forth between Khuddoos and Idris. कि अच्छा Khuddoos के साथ क्या हो रहा है, वो उसे ढूंढने की कोशिश कर रहा है. Idris के साथ क्या हो रहा है, he is getting beaten up. He has his family. His father is played by Neeraj Kabi. And by the way, I don't know if it'll have ever happen, but Neeraj Kabi sir, अगर मैं आपसे कभी लाइफ में मिलता हूँ, आई एम अपोलोजाइजिंग, आई एम सॉरी, आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू बी वेरी excited and treat you very kindly, and it's not you, it's just the kind of roles you've played. Dude, you play such a great villain. I was hating Neeraj Kabi's character. It's called Liaquat. He's playing Idris's father and he is such a terrible man. अब ये मूवी ना बहुत लेयर्स में काम करती है. द स्टोरी इज सेट इन साउथ दिल्ली कह रहा हूँ मैं. वाओ, इट्स सेट इन द मोस्ट ऑपोजिट थिंग यू कैन थिंक साउथ दिल्ली से. इट्स सेट इन पुरानी दिल्ली. एंड the internal and external world of this film is very chaotic. मतलब I don't think पूरी मूवी में एक भी वाइड शॉट है जहाँ पे तुम्हें कैरेक्टर कहीं दूर खड़ा हुआ है या दूर से शूट किया है उसको और वो डायरेक्टली दिख रहा है. बीच में देयर इज सम तार, कोई गाड़ी खड़ी हुई है, कोई मूर्ति है, कोई लोग खड़े हुए हैं, विच सॉर्ट ऑफ शोज यू दैट even from a distance you can't just look at these people directly. There is always something that is hindering your vision, and I really like that visual choice that the director went with. Speaking of visual choices, the film is shot in a largely handheld aesthetic, and props to the camera guys because they would have had to shoot some really narrow गलियों के बीच में से. There were shots where Manoj Bajpayee के around camera घूम रहा है and all of that. It just looks really stunning. Now, before we proceed, I want to tell you about a podcast, a video podcast, a podcast, जो भी बोलना है बोल लो, हमें क्या, बस सुन लेना. मान लो अगर हमें सिलेक्टर बना दिया जाए इंडियन टीम का T20 वर्ल्ड कप के लिए, एंड वी कैन सिलेक्ट किसी भी टाइम के, किसी भी जनरेशन के, किसी भी फॉर्मेट के प्लेयर. सो व्हाट वुड आवर टीम लुक लाइक? Spoiler alert, MS Dhoni is the captain, of course. So check out that chat on our YouTube channel, the video version, and if you want to listen to the audio version of that chat on your preferred podcast app, just type news and views T20 podcast, तुम्हें मिल जाएगा, and I hope you enjoy it. Okay, now let's continue talking about Gali Guleiyan. The way the film uses visuals and sound is very genius in the way it connects the two characters of Khuddoos and Idris. मतलब एक बहुत ही अच्छा सीन होता है जहाँ पे नमाज चल रही है इधर खुद्दूस के आसपास पीछे के एक मस्जिद में. वो नमाज की साउंड आती है, मनोज बाजपेयी रिएक्ट्स टू इट, कट टू इद्रिस साइड ऑफ द स्टोरी कि अच्छा इद्रिस उस नमाज के टाइम पे क्या करे. सो आई रियली लाइक द वे sound was used to connect these two characters, because the reason why Khuddoos wants to save him and feels so deeply about him is because he sees that there is some sort of a connection, right? And even going one step ahead of the visual treatment, the intangible of this film is so prominent. I'll tell you how. तुम्हें देखते समय मतलब I don't know if it was the popcorn that I was having while watching the film then, बट मेरे को पेट दर्द हो रहा था. मतलब आई वॉज फीलिंग फिजिकल डिस्कम्फर्ट लुकिंग एट द फिल्म, एंड आई थिंक दैट्स लाइक रियली प्रॉप्स टू द गाइज हु हैव मेड दिस फिल्म. इफ आई हैव टू पिक apart one thing that I didn't particularly like, I would say that the dialogue, while Manoj Bajpayee's part of the dialogue was really well delivered and really well, emoted, when the young child, Idris, Om Singh, when he is delivering his dialogues, a lot of times it comes across as very monotonous, as very, एक बस वो पढ़ के बोल रहा है, which at sometimes it just felt that a bit more, I don't know, workshopping or just a bit more character could have been given to those lines. But other than that, this film is bloody engaging as well. मतलब the film just gets better on the second watch. तो मैं ये नहीं बोलूँगा कि ये मूवी देखो या ना देखो, मैं बोलूँगा ये मूवी दूसरी बार देखो. और अब अगर तुम दूसरी बार देख ही रहे हो तो do let me know if you want me to do like a spoiler filled discussion about this film, because इस मूवी के बारे में मैं 1 घंटे बात कर सकता हूँ. And people here at Quint won't let me record for that long because दूसरे लोगों को भी वीडियोस बनानी है. So let me know if you want me to do something like that. And यार like वाइक करो, follow करो, and share it with people जिनको तुम गली गुलियाँ दिखाना चाहते हो, because it's a good movie. 100 बात की एक बात, I really liked Gali Guleiyan. You should definitely watch it. Films like these are what push cinema forward. Films like these are what push culture forward. I really love the film, and not because I'm a Manoj Bajpayee fan, not because I watched it in theaters when nobody else did. This is like a flex जो मैं पूरी लाइफ करूँगा कि मैंने ये मूवी थिएटर में देखी है, because guys, if you haven't seen this film, you are definitely missing out. And on Wikipedia, by the way, I see that its lifetime box office collection was 50 lakhs. I feel really proud that my money is in that, and at the same time I feel sad that not a lot of more people watched the film, but it's streaming on Amazon Prime. Please watch this film, because it's a really, really good film. And yeah, that was this show. So hit us up on Instagram at the Quint and tell us what you guys want us to talk about next. And हमारे बाकी podcast सुनो, go to quint.com/podcast. अब तक तुम्हें याद हो गया होगा, याद नहीं हुआ तो याद कर लो, because हम बहुत crazy podcast लेके आने वाले हैं. This was Prateek, and I'll see you in the next one. Do I Like It is a Quint original podcast, executive produced by Shelly Walia and Ritu Kapoor. This episode was hosted and edited by Prateek Lithu and produced by Anjali Palod. It uses audio from the film Gali Guleiyan, and the theme music is from BMG. You were listening to the Quint's podcast.